Hey fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. I hope you also like sponsorship changes because there's a lot of them. Big thanks to all of you on Instagram, Matvey, Andy, and you guys who send me these updates. I keep my eyes on the tour. I've just watched a stream with Tim van Rijthoven versus Karatsev, but I also really appreciate getting all these tips and hints and comments on YouTube, on tennisnerd.net, and via Instagram, tennisnerd Insta. If we start with van Rijthoven, he is using now a Dunlop FX500 Tour. Looks very similar to an E-Zone in many ways. This racket might be inspired from that, might just be a coincidence, but he's using the kind of same LED setup as he used for the E-Zone 98. And it seems to be working okay for him so far, but we will see how it works for the entire season. So quite a change there and quite a good sign for Dunlop, this exciting player from the Netherlands. When it comes to shoes, we're seeing the On Roger Pro shoe on a few players. I mentioned Guy Monfils before, but also see now on Jack Sock and Leila Fernandez. So this shoe seems to be quite popular. I'm not sure if they're sponsored by On or if they just like the shoe and purchase it or get it for free or whatever. But it's an interesting thing because they wear other clothing sponsors. So this shoe is something I would like to try myself. I haven't had the chance to get my hands on it. It's been sold out for a while. If you see it somewhere in Europe to be purchased, let me know in the comments below because I would like to make a review. And if you have tried the shoe, let me know what you think about it in the comments as well. Matvey also informed me that Borna Gojo, he's moved from the Wilson Pro staff to the Head Prestige. I don't know which Prestige model it is, if it's a current model, if it's the standard PT57A that you see a lot, like in Karatsev case, for example, or if it's like a Head PT293.2, which is the IG Prestige MP, which is one of the more popular models when you see a Prestige in the hands of a player. Not all changes are shoes and rackets. There's also grips, and Dimitrov was in the stringing room. We had Paul Skip in the background. He's been on the podcast talking about stringing a few times. We have Dimitrov talking about the strings, giving some credit to the stringing team, which I think is nice at the United Cup. And if you zoom in, you will see the cosmetic of the Wilson Pro Staff 97 version 14. I hope to get my hands on a few to try soon. But the big change here for Dimitrov is not the racket, because it's the racket of recent times as far as I understand, but it's the grip. He switched from a leather grip to a synthetic grip, and this is pretty major change to do for a pro player who's hit 1 million balls in his career with the same kind of feel in the grip. Maybe it's because he wants more cushioning, he has some blisters, just wants to try something new, I don't know. But it's quite a change for a player to change the grip because it's so connected to how they feel when they hold the racket. So we'll see if this affects his play or if he will go back to leather grips during this year. Andrei Rublev is not using Nike apparel anymore. I've heard that Nike might not want to be sponsoring Russian athletes for now due to the war in Ukraine, or there's some other reason, but he's founded his own brand called Rublo, which is supposed to shine a light in the dark times. Judging by the Instagram post, I guess this refers to the war in a way because he's been somewhat outspoken against the war. Seems to be quite loose-fitting clothes, a little bit inspired by Nike, and I don't know if they're available to buy anywhere. I haven't seen them, and we'll see in the future if they will be. Let me know what you think of the looks of the Rublo brand in the comments, and you can see more of that on andreyrublev.com, his personal website. Sloane Stevens, I have not seen her in action yet, but she's announced a new coach partnership on her Instagram with Francisco Roig, and she's also been seen with the Head Speed. And if you know Sloane, she has been using a Radical for most of her career, so this could be related to a change of a racket or just that was what was lying around next to where they were doing the photo. I don't know. We will see when she gets back into action if she's actually made the move from the Radical to a Speed. Other WTA player changes: Magdalene Net, she's gone from her Babolat Pure Drive to a Yonex E-Zone, I would assume a 100. She's using a hybrid setup, softer string in the crosses, either a gut or a multi-filament like Yonex Rexes. And then we have Hungarian player Panna Udvardi, who's gone from Yonex V-Core, the spin line of Yonex, to the spin line of Artengo, the Artengo TR930 Spin Pro. Another good sign for Artengo. They had Monfils early last year as well as Kasatkina, so they're adding some players to the roster, and we'll see if that impacts their sales, and we'll see if they keep adding more and more players to the French brand. If you want to know more about rackets, strings, and get help and consultations, go to tennisnerd.net/help, where you have a course, you have racket help, but you can also join Patreon, where I publish my first impressions reviews, personal blog posts, and a lot of unique content. If you're interested about the new V course, the 98, 100, and 95, my first impressions about those rackets are already up there. That is all for now. Have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.